Okay, so a quick glance at what we need to do with this photo. The model has a good skin, but as always with beauty shots, there's something to retouch and improve. I use Dodge and Burn to have two supporting layers, create a copy of the layer, and start my retouching by looking around to see what really needs to be done. We have a lot of small spots, so I will use dust and scratches to help remove them quickly and more automatically. First, I lower the radius and threshold. Then slowly I increase the radius to see when the spots disappeared without overly blurring the image. Photoshop is logging a little bit here, but we can see the spots disappearing, and now I slightly raise the threshold to bring back some of the skin texture. Okay, now I take the brush, 100% opacity and flow, and paint over the areas I want to make disappear. This is a fantastic automatic method to clean up the base photo from the initial imperfection, blemishes, little spots, and I think it works very well. Now I will start removing stray hairs from the hairstyle. It's known that during a shoot you can always achieve you can't always achieve perfection, and even if we had on a shoot a really great hairstylist who did a fantastic job, here the concept was to have a perfect, smooth, sleek hair. There's always something to fix because reality isn't perfect, and personally I like to pursue a kind of fairy tale perfection in beauty photography. So here I will be fixing the stray hairs, making sure that the background sample is taken closely to the area being fixed. Otherwise, visible patches and mismatch in the background will appear. I'm not sure if you can see it, but around the bun, I accidentally created already a lighter patch, but we have still time to fix it, to balance it. Sometimes I keep retouching, knowing that later I can fix it with, for example, a healing brush or the grunge stone technique, so no stress. And now I'm taking the healing brush and try to remove the patches that I made. Looking at the skin, I realized I chose the wrong radius for dust and scratches, and it's a bit annoying because I still can see some spots in the skin, so manually I will remove them with a healing brush. And a quick glance at what we have so far, and it seems it's looking pretty good, so I will turn off the helper layers, flatten all the layers and create a new one on top that includes all our retouching. Okay, quick glance, and I still need to do a little bit more of the skin refining, especially as it is a beauty photo shot. I use the Degrange tool at a low radius to break micro blemishes and unevenness in skin. And now I will start painting back parts of the photos that I think they need fixing. With the grunge you have to be careful around highlights because it can flatten them a lot, so I selectively paint only where the blemishes and uneven texture are the most annoying. As you can see, I'm avoiding the brightest areas. I won't paint over the highlights on the cheek because it would flatten it, but elsewhere this tool works really well. Now I grab the dodge and burn layer and set up my brush the way I like it the best for this kind of work. And I will brighten the dark areas and darken the bright areas to make the skin more even, aiming for smooth gradients in the skin and removing visible patches. This is the painterly part of retouching, and I slowly start painting. And with dodge and burn, the changes are very subtle, often hard to notice immediately, but the effect becomes obvious when you make the layers visible and invisible, like really fast. Turn on and turn off the dodge and burn layer. And it's a great tool to smooth and unify the skin. Sometimes it looks like I'm just randomly clicking around, and I remember during a workshop someone commented that they couldn't see the difference, but it really changes and it's worth the time because it gives you very natural effect. And sometimes it's good to switch off and switch on the supporting layers because our eyes get used to looking at this photo and we stop seeing the imperfections. So right now I will work on the brighter picture and I will focus on correcting the eyebrows. They were already really nice, but I want them even more even and more precisely drawn. So I'm finding the areas where the hair are missing, and by darkening these areas I make the eyebrow more even, more defined. And as you can see, I keep adjusting the brush size to match the area I'm working on. Here I also smooth some patches on the tooth. It will help me to brighten the teeth later. I'm fixing the imperfection in the nails. Okay, quick glance at what we have so far. Here one eyebrow still catches my eyes, so I'll fix it. Now I'm turning off the supporting layer to see the image in color. Sometimes it also gives you a nice perspective and you can see better what is still missing. I think everything is quite fine. So I'm flattening the image, merging all the layers into one layer on top, and let's go to liquify. And I just want to slightly correct the shape of the head, aiming for very symmetrical lines. Let's go for the neck and shoulders to create a kind of swan-like long neck effect. As you can see, there wasn't much to correct. The model has beautiful features and is very symmetrical, so the changes were minimal. Next, I create a curve adjustment layer, boosting it a lot because I only want to selectively paint on the teeth for whitening. You can see the before and after, but more importantly, I moved to the blue channel because blue counteracts yellow, and I will put the curve strongly to remove some yellowness from the teeth where is needed. And this shift towards blue helped a lot. I duplicate the curve layer to strengthen the effect, but I'm painting it back slightly to remove overly bluey looking teeth. I group these layers so it's easier for me to see before and after effect, and in any case I could change the opacity of the group of the layers. It looks very good, and now I will use a contrast action from the Luna plugin, which gives the photo a nice pop. It looks more lively when we boost the contrast a little bit. And now that the piece of flower stem is really annoying me, so I will try to remove it, but I'm not sure if it's a good decision. I'm still wondering before and after. Okay, maybe I will keep it. And the other thing are the nails, and they are still bothering me a little bit, especially because this is a beauty shot. They are expected to be perfect and they aren't here. And it was my mistake not to ensure a proper manicure during the shoot, but now I just have to fix it in post-production. So I've added myself a little bit of retouching workload to make the nails look better and not distract from the photo. I will manually fixing them, just like the earlier with the hair. I use stamp tool, and as you can see, it looks a little bit messy. I'm creating some patches, but I know I will fix it later with healing brush and polish it with Dodge and Burn. So I just aiming to keep the shape of the nail and the structure that on the left and the right I have nail polish, and in the middle I have this highlight. As you can see, it's already better. It's already looking more like a delicate pinkish natural manicure, but definitely it's still not perfect. But it gives me a good base to use later. Dodge and burn. So let's use Luna's dodge and burn action, and let's bright the dark spots. Oh wait, I need to change the opacity and the flow of the brush, and we will be brightening the dark patches and darkening the light patches. So overall it gives you, again, really natural effect. You can fix the imperfection quite quickly, and for me pleasantly, because it's like painting. Even if at the beginning the process looks a little bit messy, the results are worth the time. And more of painting. You can think of it as, oh wait, here I will just use the smaller brush and create like more sharper line to define more the nail, because it looks like it was melting with the skin. But the idea is to create like natural smooth gradients between the texture of the skin, nails, or whatever area you're fixing with touch and burn. And in general, this is my style of retouching and photography. The photo is like a base or a sketch, which I then polish up with retouching. And with retouching, I again create a base, a sketch, and then I refine it further, and mainly using dodge and burn. And okay, it's good. And now I try to remove the layers I don't need. Let's see before and after. You can see the nails are way much better right now. Okay. So I delete unnecessary layers. I create with stamp visible, I create a layer over them. Delete the ones that were flattened. It don't want to be deleted. Before and after. Quick glance at what we have. Are we happy with the result, or can we fix something? Let's add a little bit more of the contrast. It's a little bit too strong for like overall photos, for overall picture, but I will use a mask layer to just paint a little bit more of the contrast on selected area. Again, I'm changing the brush to 100% flow and opacity, and I'm checking if we're painting over the mask layer, and I just add the effect to the certain areas. I think it's good. And here I think the color of the face and of the hand are a little bit different. I don't know if you can't see it. So I slightly fixing it with even skin from the Luna plugin. But I'm just painting delicately over selected areas, and now I'm changing the bit depth of the photo to 8 to save a little bit of the disk space. I give it, well, yeah. And the last look on the picture, if we have everything right, then I'm flattening the image, delete any unnecessary layers, and save the file. And now this is how the final photo looks like. And now let's do the final touch. Let's create a virtual copy of the image. Let's go develop module, and on the left you have presets. Well, you might have presets if you bought one, created, or use the ones that are in Lightroom. I have my Sunkissed presets, and right now I will check all of them, which one of them will give the best effect on this photo. As you can see, they are changing the image quite drastically. They are affecting a lot the background, but what I really like about them, they're giving this sun-kissed, sun-tanned, more warm, pleasant skin tones. And I think the Sunkissed 5 looks the best on this image. It really gave the nice glow and nice color tone, but I think the overall effect is a little bit too strong, so I will adjust the opacity of this preset, and I think the amount around 35 looks really nice. We have a little bit more warmer skin tones, but the background is not changed too much. Let's go back to our base photo, and as you can see, the left one is a little bit more, skin is a little bit more pinkish, and on the right one we have more sun-kissed warm skin. But I don't like that the background is aiming more for the greenish hues. I want to keep this colder blue tone. So let's go to develop module again. Let's create a mask. It's automatic mask for the background. Okay, we have the mask. There's one spot that was not caught in the mask, but this is not a problem. And to remove a little bit the effect from the background, I will change the temperature of the background towards the colder tones. Let's see, like -10 looks okay. And right now I'll work a little bit with the tint. I think we need to go a little bit more towards the magenta, because I want to remove the green, so magenta is opposite to green. 13 looks okay. So let's go to the main grid and let's compare two photos. Oh, nice. I think the backgrounds right now are matching. So as you can see, I've kept the colder background, but I've changed the tone of the skin delicately with my preset. And on the left the skin is a little bit more pinkish, and on the right is more yellow brownish sun-kissed skin, which I really like. So this is our final photo.